Very good morning, Mark. Here, Thursday, April the 23rd. It's 7:38 a.m. Eastern, 11:38 a.m. GMT. US session about to get underway, and let's have a look how we stand this morning. US dollar index, third consecutive day, higher highs, higher lows, demand for US dollars. The reversal has been strong going into the US session, testing resistance. Right now, I've got resistance at 98.63. I've got support at 98.36. Buyers will be looking to test this resistance level. Demand for US dollars could see buyers extend the gains we've seen so far. Turnaround from strong to weak US dollar would see a bounce down of this resistance area, and sellers would look down at support sitting at 98.36. But certainly strong US dollar going into the US session. Let's have a look at the S&P. Looking at the futures market for now, still almost 2 hours until Wall Street opens up. Sharp spike lower in the futures market, but buyers have recouped most of the losses already. I've got support at 7,101. I've got resistance 7,164. US session about to get underway, going into Wall Street opening up. We'll see whether the demand for US equities continue. Record high levels, record close yesterday. We'll see whether that can be maintained if buyers break above this level. Interesting, yesterday we saw US dollar and equities both strengthen, move in the same direction. We'll see whether that's the case today or if things do change. We got overbought technicals on the S&P index, as well as perhaps profit taking at some point entering the picture. But going into the US session, we are seeing this demand for equities and for the S&P. Gold. Gold being sold off this morning. There's the downtrend, which we've seen playing out. EMAs have crossed to the downside. Today I've got lower highs, lower lows as well, but something pretty much flat in line with yesterday's close. Today, 4,702 current price right now, so that 4,700 support being tested. 4,680 is the daily support, 4,751 for now the intraday resistance level. We'll see whether this does continue. The sell-off in gold might go hand in hand with strong US dollar. If there's going to be a bounce up of the support area around the 4,700, buyers will be looking to test this intraday resistance and look back up at the 4,800 on the upside. Brent oil. Tried higher earlier, almost at that $100 level. We can see every time it gets to that level has been rejected so far, and sellers did step in at today's resistance, 99.65. There's the wick. It's left behind. I've got support at 95.64 and now sitting at 97. Has hung around that 95 level the past few days. We'll see based on any new developments out of the Middle East today, be they threats, be it physical change on the ground. We'll see whether optimism prevails and whether sellers can get below this 95 level that we're sitting at right now, come back down to the 90, or if we're going to see renewed aggression, renewed threatening rhetoric or changes in the opposite direction, could see buyers come up and retest this 99.61 and look to get back above that $100 mark for now. Certainly an unsettled and fragile oil market at this point. EMAs have barely crossed to the upside as well. We'll see if that does play out. And then let's look at crypto, at Bitcoin. unable to maintain and hold on to yesterday's strong gains. Yesterday got as high as 79.5 thousand, gave up those gains late, and so far today, sellers are in control. I've got resistance at 78.6 thousand. I've got resistance at 77.1 thousand. We'll see whether buyers do step in again and continue with this uptrend and look to retest the 78, 79,000 on the way to testing perhaps 80,000 on the upside, or if sellers do continue what we've seen and what's been started so far today and look below the 77,000 support and to get back and look at yesterday's, or at least to test yesterday's low. Uptrend still in place for now and a higher low still in place. Good trading, keep that discipline, and I will see you at the end of today's session.